Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I said hey. Welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, I'm Jasmine W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all know I like to jump right into it, but first I must let you know if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then you a hater. You don't support black women.
Period.
And you know what? I don't want to get into this discourse here on this video, but I should talk about the ways in which and if black women support each other in another video. But I was talking about that on TikTok Live last night. But let me just move on, honey. Anyway, y'all know I love to support black business, and I just want to say that for the rest of the month, it's about me supporting myself. I do have some comedy shows coming up. I have one in LA that I'll post right here. So if you live in LA or the LA area and you want to come see me work out some new material, then you can come see me at the Pro at the end of the month. You can come see me in Chicago with my friend Brandy Denise on April 30th. That is a Sunday in Chicago. Can't wait. It'll be my first time in Chicago. So come out. Don't make it to where I never come back. And then if you want to see me in Dallas, I'll be at the Dallas Comedy Club on May 4th, which is a Thursday. I cannot wait for that show. I'm going to have my dad do some jokes and everything else. So because here on YouTube, y'all actually know my dad because y'all have seen him in my content before, make sure that if you or somebody you know wants a good laugh and wants to support black women in comedy, then they come out. It's going to be fun.
Very fun.
Let's start with, on my channel, we always start with the most boring couple, okay? And the most boring couple this week on Married at First Sight, usually it's the people I have the fewest notes about. So let's go ahead and do Joanna and Chip. I have 5 lines on them. Joanna and Chip, aka Joanna and Chip. What's their real names? Oh, Gina and Clint.
Yeah, that's them.
They get very much Joanna and Clip energy. That's why I named them that. If you don't know that by now, go watch the rest of my videos. Anyway, we started this episode with Chip making a catfish po' boy and them talking about moonshine pickles. I never had moonshine pickles. I'm like, is these pickles soaked in liquor? Honey, I'm from Texas. How have I never heard about this?
We won't do country stuff like that.
But anyway, he was making a catfish po' boy, and they were talking about how good it tasted, but honestly, he put too many catfish in that little bitty skillet he had. Did y'all see the skillet he had? It was like this big. The skillet was this big, and he had it full of oil. The oil was bubbling like it should, right? And he had one piece already in there cooking, and he added the other piece, and he could barely get the tail in. I said, baby, you got to give these catfish some room, honey.
Yeah, some breathing room.
You got to give these catfish some room. You can't be adding all this catfish to the skillet. The skillet ain't big enough to be adding 2 or 3 pieces of catfish. You got to do your fish one at a time when you got a little skillet. My mama would have came in the kitchen and said, that's your skillet too little. Anyway, him and Gina were talking about how delicious it was. It had a nice crunch to it. But what do they know? Anyway, I said at this point in time, there are some just really wonderful roommates, aren't they? What a wonderful roommate to have. What's nice to have a roommate who cooks and y'all can go hang out and y'all can rub each other in a friendly way with like back massagers and everything else. This is not a romance. It's a shame because they look really cute together, but this isn't a romance. Okay?
It's a bromance. Sorry for the background noise.
Devon Franklin came in and gave all the couples some counseling this episode, and he asked this couple, he asked Chip specifically, what would she have to do that would really touch you? Something that she could do that would be very touching. And I said her touching him in general would be touching.
Just the touch.
Can we get some touching?
That part.
Baby, I ain't never wanted to see 2 people touch so bad in my entire life. I want to see y'all touch. You remember Omarion? Touch. That's what I want to see. I want to see y'all touch, honey. I want to see y'all kiss, touch, make love. That's what I want to see. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see, and we're not seeing it. Anyway, I wrote down, Gina don't want to do nothing for him. When he was like, oh, well, I think she could. Gina was there like this.
Mad as hell.
She's checked out. She don't want to be with the man. She don't feel no physical chemistry with him. She's checked out. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't really blame Gina for wanting to be with somebody she has more of a physical spark with. I don't blame her for that. Is my camera crooked? It feels a little bit crooked. Anyway, I don't blame Gina for wanting to have more of a physical spark with him. If she don't like it, she don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just stop the process though. Like, why you gotta fake the funk? But anyway. Why did Dr. Pepper say that they need to watch movies about doing things for other people, and she brought up Driving Miss Daisy?
I don't know why the hell she brought up that.
Driving Miss Daisy?
I want y'all to know black people did not enjoy working for white people. It's just something they had to do.
Driving Miss Daisy?
I need to watch this. Did he ever get paid? Hell, I didn't see her hand him no money.
Child, anyway. Let's move on to the next couple because I don't want to get heated. Let's move on to Nicole and Dan. I have a lot to say. I'm gonna let y'all know I have a lot to say.
You always have a lot to say.
Nicole sat down with Dan, and I know his name is Chris. I call him Dan because he looked like a Dan. Dan the Downer. Okay?
Dan's Burgers, the cartoon. He looked like Bob though. For
Nicole sat down and said, whenever I tell you that I want you to give me space, that's not what I mean. I don't really want you to give me space. And Dan said, so whenever you tell me not to do something, that means you want me to do it? That's pretty confusing. Well, when I say don't do it, don't do it. But when I say, hey, I'm having a really bad day, and I would like to go in the other room just to think about how much of a bad day I've had. And I just want to be in there by myself. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? We have to be mature. We have to have enough maturity to say, you know what, Dan? I had a really bad day today and I just need a hug. I just need somebody to talk to. And after we talk, I want to make out. I want to make out for 30 or 40 minutes because that's what's going to make me feel better. Or after we talk and I share my emotions, I want you to rub my feet and run me a bath. Please. Please do that for me.
Why you rocking?
Yeah. To tell somebody that you've had a bad day and you want to be alone and then go in the room and wait for them to come in the room, it's so immature. What are we, in elementary school? It's so immature. So immature. And you know what? It's that kind of stuff that made me say, this is why your ex said, I'm not going to deal with your baggage. Go unpack your baggage in therapy and come back. Because he's not going to play mind games with you like this. You have to be mature enough to say, hey, I've had a really bad day and I just would love to talk to you about it, or not talk to you about it and drink wine and us take a bath together, or us drink wine and watch my favorite movie, or you just sit here and listen to how bad of a day I've had. And that's it. Like, you have to communicate your needs. You have to communicate your needs. Nicole her first need is to go to therapy. And y'all knew I was gonna say that. Nicole needs to go to therapy because Nicole ain't whole.
Now, who doesn't need therapy? Answer me that.
Anyway, she said, I don't know how to process. I just need help with processing. I need to process things, and if I don't know, baby, you need to date a Mac. You need to date a PC, because those are the only things that's going to help you process, honey, because they have processors built in. Anyway, I know that was a nerd joke. The point is, you need help. You don't need a husband. You need help. You don't need a husband. You need help.
Help. Capital H.
Okay. I wrote down, Nicole needs to go to therapy and learn how to communicate. Nicole said, what I need mainly is validation. And if you can't provide it, then there's the door. My dad called me and said, I would have flown out of the door so fast that the door would have been left open. My dad was like, get the hell out of there, Dan.
Yeah, he said he'd be out of there.
Get out of there. Nicole, it's okay to need validation from your partner. It's okay to need reassurance from your partner. But this sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry. At the couples dinner, I wrote down, Nicole needs to learn how to mind her own business. Nicole, you just sat here with your husband and told him how you need validation and how he needs to leave you alone but not leave you alone, and cried and talked about how all of your past relationships have been so traumatizing, how they affected you, and here you are giving these other couples advice. Why are you giving them advice? You're not Dr. Pepper. You're not even Dr. Salt or Dr. Paprika.
Dr. Garlic.
You need to be Dr. Be Quiet. Dr. Shh.
Let's start with the white
Because
spice.
that's what you need to be focusing on. You need to have a specialize in shh. That's the medicine you need to specialize in, because you're not the expert, Nicole.
Hush.
Child. She was like, I saw how upset Jazmyn was when the women got together, and I just want to tell you, Airris, that you need to do better. You need to try harder. Shut up. Jazmyn, did Jazmyn even want you to bring that up? What happened is what's said amongst us stays between us. She didn't cry in front of you so that you could come back to Airris. And in fact, not only Airris, come back to everybody, all of the men, and talk about how you cried and need to do better. Like, that is ridiculous to me. Talk about outing somebody. She completely outed Jazmyn emotionally. I'm sorry. Like, don't do that. If I'm crying with my girlfriends in public and then we're on like a couples trip or something, and I get to them, I'm having wine and I'm crying to them, do not come back to my husband in front of everybody and talk about how he needs to do better because you seen me cry earlier. Shut your up.
Do better, Tyrell.
Jeez Louise. And I just really want y'all to pay attention to something. And people are gonna say, Jazmyn, oh my God, I don't care. Do you guys see how the white people in the room became the experts? The white people in the room are in the same position as everybody else, as the black couples. But somehow over dinner, they became the preachers. They became the experts. They became the knowledge in the room about all of the topics in regards to marriage and opening up. And I had a friend, and I had a friend. This all started because Nicole said something out of place, and nobody had the emotional intelligence to just simply change the subject. They tried, but it got sadder and sadder because they slowly became the experts, and it became a round table about trauma when Jazmyn didn't even ask you to bring this up.
Exactly.
And everybody else all the black people are in the room like this.
Looking awkward.
And then Nicole said, I just want you to know, Shaquille, we are here for you. We are here for you. We know how hard it can be, and we are here for you. Really? You are? You're here for him? Okay. I doubt it, but okay.
She not even here for herself.
Anyway, Nicole and Kirsten went to a lingerie shop, and Nicole said, lingerie really isn't my favorite thing. Oh, I wonder why. It's because you have low self-esteem. Damn.
It's true though.
Lingerie is an opportunity for people to feel sexy, to feel wanted. You should be wearing lingerie. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go to a lingerie shop. They have lingerie at Target. You should be wearing lingerie whenever you don't feel good about yourself, and whenever you do feel good about yourself. It's just something nice to do for yourself.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay? And I don't want nobody in my comments being like, I don't really like lingerie either. I don't really like lingerie either. I don't care. Because guess what? Increase your self-esteem. Because lingerie, even when you're by yourself, it's just something cute. It's like saying, oh, I don't like nice clothes.
It's like saying you don't like baths.
Put on some lingerie and just feel sexy for a few minutes, even if you're by yourself. I encourage everybody to do that. Men too. Nicole said when she gets naked with her husband or her past partner, she says, I'm here, my clothes are off, do what you gotta do.
Very disturbing.
How terrible. How terrible. Like, I hate to say, I hate that I feel like I have to say this, but y'all know sex is supposed to be enjoyed, right? By everybody involved. Sex is not for, of course you reproduce, but it's also for enjoyment. It's not for the man or for the woman or for the non-binary people involved. It is to be enjoyed by everybody who participates.
Adults, by the way.
So it's very sad and disturbing that Nicole says, my clothes are off, I'm here, do what you gotta do. It doesn't sound like she enjoys sex. Wow. And then finally, if we didn't think things could get sadder, at the end of the episode, Nicole says, I know that this is like wrong, but I just have to say, he didn't pick me. He didn't pick me.
And he won't pick you now.
Nicole, your self-esteem is so bad that you went on a show, you volunteered to go on a show and be matched with somebody, and at the end of the match said he didn't pick me. So is he gonna leave me? Am I good enough?
That is crazy as hell.
Girl, you have got to get some support. Nicole is a beautiful girl. She seems sweet. I don't know her, but just from what we've seen on the show, she seems like a sweet person. But the level of esteem,
Oh, it's low.
baby, the esteem is on empty. I'm sorry. And I can barely watch it. I can barely even stand to watch it. It is bad. It's bad. And that's all. That's all I have to say. Let's move on to the next couple. I don't even know if I have the energy for this today because these people drain me, honey. Today drain me. Let's move on to Kirsten and Shaq. Shaq's mom called Kirsten and told her that what she has been hearing hasn't been good and that she needs to work on supporting Shaq more. My dad called me and said, now why the hell is her mama calling, why is his mama calling her about what she need to be doing? He said, I would have hung up in her face.
Directly.
I would say, you know what you need to be focused on? I said, Dad, that's not even how it is when you hang up on people. That's from the 1990s. Now when you hang up on people, it's just, hello? There's no dial tone, honey.
Right.
I wish there was, though. I miss that. I miss the hanging up in people's face. I miss the slamming of the phone, the click, and then the doo. I miss that. We need to bring that back on cell phones. And it needs to be a separate button. It needs to be a pickup, a green, a red, and a hang up in they damn face button. And I want the dial tone, I want it to sound like a slam. It could be artificial intelligence. And I want it to do. That's what I want back. That's what I need back. If there's an app somebody can create, I'll download it and add it to my phone. Anyway.
I don't think you need AI for that.
I wrote down Don't ask his mama for any advice because it's none of her damn business. Yeah. It's none of her business, okay? Shaq's mama gonna tell Kirsten, I'm not there to see what's going on. And you shouldn't be. And you shouldn't be here to see what's going on. What do you mean you're not there to see what's going on? I'm glad you're not here to see what's going on. What the hell are you gonna do? Your family should not be this involved in your relationship. I'm sorry. Your family should not be involved in this relationship. Trust me, honey. Trust me. At the dinner, Shaq admitted that he's had some internal battles. He struggled emotionally. He kind of insinuated he wanted to, even possibly end his life at one point. He talked about being fine on the outside and really, really struggling on the inside. And he said he went and got help. He went to therapy. I'm like, y'all know I'm slow clapping.
That's how you do it.
Thank you, Shaq, for going to get some help, getting therapy. Thank you for being a man who went to go to therapy when they saw a problem. Thank you for being a man who went to get therapy after he noticed an issue. And thank you for being a black man who went to get therapy after noticing the issue. Very important. So kudos to Shaquille for that. Airris was just looking like, thank God they not talking about me no more. He was like,
right.
Whew, thank God. Suicide saved the day. Anyway, Shaq left. He got up and stormed out. This was an episode of everybody storming out. I might name that the title of this YouTube. Because he said, once Nicole told him that we are there for you, your wife is there for you. Kirsten didn't have anything to say. He was like, you didn't even have nothing to say. You just sat there silent. And she was like, I didn't even get a chance to say anything. I didn't even get 1 second to say anything but you stormed out. And I agree with her.
Yeah, she didn't get a chance.
Nicole said, you know what? We're all here for you. Your wife is here for you. Shaq said, 1, 2, 3, and got up and left. Pew! Do I get a chance to think about what's appropriate to say, what's not appropriate to say? Can Nicole finish her damn sentence?
No, predict the future.
You got up and stormed out of here like somebody had just cussed you out. You didn't even give your wife a chance to say, Nicole, and we appreciate that. And Shaq, I just want you to know, I am here for you. I'm 100% here for you. I support you. I love you. I'm glad you're still here. You didn't give her a chance to say nothing. You got and stormed out, honey. You was like, hell, who was the Bugs Bunny chasing around? Or y'all know the people back on the anime or the little characters used to come on the TV, Cartoon Network, Looney Tunes. He got up and left like, pew, like Pepe Le Pew. Hell, I don't know if that's the right one. Y'all, anyway, when Shaq came back to the table, I think this was after he came back to the table and Kirsten had to explain why he left the table. Baby, if you left the table, explain why you left. Don't have me coming back and sitting here next to you and saying, we had to leave because Shaq got a little. Don't have me doing that. I'm not about to do it, actually. Because I think that's ridiculous. If I get up and storm off from the table, and I left my husband, and my husband comes outside to console me. When I come back to the table, I'm going to say, you know what, guys, I apologize. I got a little bit in my feelings. I'm not going to have my husband explain what happened and me sitting there and be like, that's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Kirsten said, man up, because she was talking to everybody, I guess, about wanting Shaquille to man up. And she said, man up. And Shaquille said, we consummated our marriage.
Period.
Now, y'all know I do not tolerate homophobia on my channel.
We don't.
Okay? I do not tolerate it. If people are on here, if there are people who identify as men on here to be matched with women, that's great. Then I take it for what they say they are. I don't accuse people of being gay or bisexual if they haven't said that they identify as those things themselves, right?
Right.
But one thing I will say is Kirsten told Shaquille to man up, and he said, we consummated our marriage. And I said, that was cute.
Ironic.
Like when I was expecting him to be like, we consummated our marriage, like LL Cool J, I just want to let y'all lean back with it, Fat Joe, like we consummated our marriage. But he said, we consummated our marriage. And I said, okay, Betty, all right. Anyway. Devon Franklin came in, and I said, this is the kind of man Kirsten looked like she want to be with, in my opinion.
In my opinion, too. Oh, wait, it's the same.
But anyway, he came in, and he told Shaquille, he got Shaquille all the way together. He said, baby, we cannot have unexpressed expectations for our partner. Facts. You cannot say, oh, I want my man to give me flowers every week. He don't ever give me flowers. And then the next time y'all get into an argument, well, you don't never give me flowers. That's how unexpressed expectations manifest. You have to say, baby, I really would love some flowers. You never give me flowers, and I love flowers, and I wish you would get them for me more. You have to talk like Jeffrey from Ready to Love. You know what, baby? I love flowers, baby. And if you could get me some flowers, I would be so, I love flowers. You can't have expectations that are not expressed. And also, when you tell your spouse what support is, and then they give you those things, you can't say, well, you didn't do it right. Well, you did it, but you didn't do it like this. Shaquille seems like the type of person who is looking for external validation from his partner. And it's great to be reassured and feel supported by your partner, but if you're looking for external validation from them, if you're looking for them to make you feel good about the things that you're doing, you're never going to be satisfied because you don't feel good. You have low self-esteem. So if you don't feel good, no matter what they do and what they say, it's never going to be good enough because you don't feel good about the things that you're doing yourself. You can't look for that external validation from your partner. You have to find it within.
Within, exactly.
And lastly, when it comes to Shaq and Kirsten, I wrote down insecurity breeds. I wrote down insecurity breeds the need for more. And it's just what I was saying before. If you never feel like you are good enough, no matter how many times your partner tells you you're good and I love the things that you're doing and I want to learn, it's never going to be good enough. You have to feel like, oh, I'm doing purposeful work. I love the work that I'm doing. I'm happy. When it comes to me personally, I make myself laugh. I make myself happy. I love the content that I'm creating. It's nice when my partner comes over and says, Jazz, you are so dope. I love you, make me laugh. You're funny. I love your content. I love your point of view. I love the way you uplift Black women and Black people and our culture and everything like that. It's nice, but if I don't feel good about the things that I'm doing, it's never going to be enough. So, Shaq needs to work on that on his own, in my opinion. And then also, the last thing I would say about Shaq and Kirsten is, baby, if you told me that I didn't show up for you once, and I said, I really apologize. I didn't know it meant that much to you. I want to show up for you like that in the future. Don't bring it up no more. Do not keep bringing it up. Do not keep bringing it up how I didn't show up for you when I should have showed up for you 2 or 3 weeks ago. Be quiet now. Let's talk about something else. Because you have to give the person a chance to continue, to show up for you again.
Right.
I can see if it happened over and over, but don't bring up, once I apologize, don't keep bringing it up.
You don't want to give her a chance to do nothing.
Anyway, let's move on to the last couple, Jasmine and Airris. Jasmine said that she has been sweeping her emotions under the rug, and Devon Franklin told her, baby, eventually you're going to sweep so much stuff up under the rug, it's not going to get dealt with, and people going to start noticing, honey, that they're going to come up to your house and look, the rug going to be lumpy as hell. They gonna say, what the hell is all this shit up under this rug?
Girl.
I'm gonna come over your house and I say, baby, you got a lot of shit up under this. What is under this rug? Bodies?
And then lo and behold, bodies. Murder.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, she said, Jazmyn talked about how in her house growing up, apparently she struggled a lot, but she couldn't talk to her parents. And you know what? This is why it's really important for our kids to see us struggle emotionally. It's really important for your kids to see you struggle, because they need to know that it's normal and it's human to have emotions. It's normal and it's human to feel sad. It's normal and it's human to have a day where you're not feeling good. And it looks like Jazmyn never saw her parents struggle, so she felt like, oh, me struggling on my own is abnormal. It's not normal for me to struggle because my parents never struggle. Look at them. They're fine. So I have to be fine too, so that I can fit in. So that everybody's fine here, so I need to be fine. And the reality is, that probably wasn't true. Her parents just struggled and didn't show their children that they struggled, and now she's struggling with how to show others that she's struggling. I know that was really confusing, but y'all get it. Anyway, she said, I'm feeling this way about the relationship. I'm not really feeling good. I'm sure Airris can see it. You can't be sure Airris is seeing anything. Like, specifically for women, I want us to stop making assumptions about what men see and don't see. There's a lot of things that we think that they should see that they don't see. That's why you have to explain things to men. You have to tell men exactly how you're feeling. You cannot beat around the bush. So saying, oh, I'm sure Airris sees this and feels this too, you can't be sure, baby. You have to tell him. Because he probably be like, what? Jazmyn said that she believes her and Airris are very compatible. She thinks that they have a lot of compatibility. And I wrote down, how are you compatible with somebody who think you ugly? Explain that to me. How are you compatible with somebody who don't find you attractive? That is the opposite of what compatible is. Yeah, y'all aren't compatible. He don't like you. And you need to let it go. Jazmyn said that she was bullied a lot in school because she was too proper, too this, too that, too much of a goody two-shoes. And I want to let black people know watching this that y'all are the ones who bullied her.
Yep, y'all are.
Y'all bullied her for speaking too proper. Sure, it's an internalized like self-hate and white supremacy, but I just want us to know and acknowledge that black people did that. Because she didn't mention it on the show, but we all know black people bullied her for being too proper, for being too prissy, for being too perfect, for being too gorgeous, for being brown skinned, beautiful, educated, proper, black, period. I'm not gonna let y'all slide. Anyway, apologize. Anyway, my mom said, I missed this. I was in the kitchen making a sandwich, but my mom said that Airris also mentioned something about Jazmyn being taller than him. And she says that that's the root of it. As soon as she came out, she noted she was too tall. Airris does not want a woman who interrupts the very little self-esteem that he has. So he wants somebody shorter than him with a big old booty. And because Jazmyn was tall and slim, she was tall and she's slim just like him, looked like she might be able to take him in a fight, honey. And he was not attracted to her immediately, and that was my mom's theory. He also mentioned her height another time previously. I brought this up on a few episodes ago, but he has mentioned her height. If he did it this episode, that's what my mom said. But he has mentioned her height a few times now, and I think that is the root of it. But I guess, I mean, she's a little bit taller than you.
A little bit.
So what?
He has low self-esteem.
And I really had a breakthrough.
Oh, Lord.
When it came to Devon Franklin's questioning for Airris. And I never thought that would happen in my lifetime.
Ever.
But woo, this one really got it, because Devon asked Airris, he said, if you lost your job right now, how would you feel? And Airris said, I would be devastated. A job, I might lose my car, I might lose my house. I work really hard to make sure I'm successful at my job, because if I lost it, I would be devastated. And Devon said, okay, well, what about your wife? And he said, oh, I could just get another wife.
And my daddy said if he lose his job, he lose his wife, so it don't really matter which one he lose.
I feel like this should be added to the Rolodex of questions you ask someone who identifies as male before getting in a relationship with them.
Men's.
Do you feel like losing your wife, losing your family is as devastating or more devastating or the most devastating thing that could ever happen to you? What is the most devastating thing that could ever happen to you? Because I this really clicked with me. And I said, wow, in my opinion, losing my family in my head, and don't worry, I'm in therapy, is probably one of the most devastating things that could ever happen to me. It's very devastating.
But
there are a lot of men out here who don't feel that way.
That's it.
They don't feel like losing their family is one of the most devastating things that could ever happen to them. And you need to be with somebody who feels that way in order to have a successful relationship.
Or else they'll just find another family. Ooh.
You know what? I could continue with the episode, but I think I honestly just want to stop it right there, honey. Because that really is enough to me, honey. And if y'all didn't catch that, catch it.
Go ahead.
Catch it, because I have had many conversations with many men about losing their jobs versus, losing other things in life, their parents, and maybe I just haven't been old enough. But, there are very few men that I've heard say, if I had a family, losing my family, devastating. I have heard a couple say it. But that's the kind of energy you need from a partner who's willing to do anything and everything to make it work, because losing my family would be devastating. Losing my wife would be devastating to me. Not, I can find another wife.
Tony Romo.
Anyway, y'all, baby, if you haven't subscribed by now, baby, I don't know what to tell you. You just don't love a good review, okay?